this is Summer. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here either way. I hope that you will like me enough to stick around and click that little red subscribe button down below. So today, guys, we are going to be doing a Halloween tag that I created. I thought this would be something fun to do for fall and with Halloween coming up before long. So if you want to see what the questions are and see what my answers are, then just stick around. Hey guys, so I created this tag for Halloween. I thought it would be something a little bit different to do. I'm going to be doing a lot of makeup looks and things as well if I can get them done and get them posted. But I did want to do a tag because I always think these are so much fun to hear everyone's answers. So I created this tag of Halloween questions or Halloween related questions. So if you want to do this, please feel free to do it, guys. I'm not going to obviously tag a bunch of people individually because I want to leave them open for other people to tag, and I don't want to tag everyone and all that stuff, and then you don't have anybody to tag or that kind of thing. So I'm going to limit it to 5 people that I tag. I will tag those 5 people at the end and in the description box. But if you want to do this tag, please feel free to, guys. If I do not tag you, it's not because I don't love you or appreciate you. It's just because I can't tag everyone or we'd be here forever and ever. We're going to go ahead and get started with question number 1, and that is Halloween celebrated in your country, and if so, how? Well, I live in the United States, so it is celebrated in my country. Obviously, not everyone probably celebrates Halloween, but those of us that do love to dress up in costumes. The kids go trick-or-treating or go to fall festivals or things like that. People get together and watch scary movies, have costume parties, and it's just a lot of fun. Question number 2, what is your favorite thing about Halloween and why? My favorite thing is definitely the costumes and dress up aspect of it. For one thing, the makeup is just fun to see what people can transform themselves into. It's a lot of fun. And then the costumes themselves, it's just one time a year that you can dress up and be whatever you want to be. So I think it's a lot of fun. Question number 3, what is your favorite scary movie? That's hard to say. I really like a lot of scary movies. The original Halloween movies are some of my favorite scary movies. Another one that's a lot less heard of probably that scared me to death when I was little was Rosemary's Baby. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that or not, but that was terrifying to me when I was a kid. Obviously the Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, Saw, those are some of my favorite scary movies. Saw is probably one of my favorites for sure. I just like the really twisted aspect of that one and how you really have to... it's not just a plain like killer movie or whatever. It's got a lot of thought into it. So question number 4 is haunted houses, yes or no, and why? The second part of that question is if yes, what's the best one you have ever been to? So I would say yes, no, maybe on those. I really hate haunted houses. They freak me out. However, I get talked into going to one seemingly every year for the last few years. I do not like for people in haunted houses to touch me. I do not like them to touch me. I do not like the chainsaw noises when they chase you with a chainsaw. That scares me to death. The best one I have personally ever been to, like I said, I don't go to a lot. I've been talked into them a few times. The best one I've ever been to was the Atrox haunted house in Birmingham, Alabama. It was really scary. They did a great job of the theatrics and how they set that up, the makeup and the costumes and all of that. They did a fabulous job on that. There were a lot of clowns. I hate clowns. There was someone walking behind me scratching my neck with their zombie nails. It was so disgusting. I don't like that. People grabbed my legs. In this one part, you walk over a bridge and there were literally like zombies underneath it grabbing at your legs, and they literally like grabbed your legs and touched you, and I don't like that. But at the same time, it's so scary, but it's still fun. So as ridiculous as that seems. Okay, question number 5. What is the first Halloween costume that you remember choosing yourself and wearing? And that would be Cyndi Lauper. I think I was like 5 or 6, but I remember dressing up as Cyndi Lauper, and I got some of that orange spray and did all my hair to one side and sprayed it orange, and it was really funny looking back on that, but I loved Cyndi Lauper back then. So question number 6 is what is your favorite Halloween costume that you have ever worn? And I would say probably my crime scene costume. So it's like a black dress with like crime scene tape all over it. And I wore that with like some black boots and some, police accessory type stuff. And it was really cute. And I painted my nails the different colors that the ice truck killer would paint his victims' nails from Dexter. So I thought that was really fun and creative. No one really got it, but if any of you watched Dexter, you remember that the victim's fingernails were always painted a certain color scheme. And so that is what I did. And then I had the crime scene costume on, so it was cute. But anyway, that's probably one of my favorites. Number 7 is, what is your favorite Halloween candy? I would probably say the Reese's pumpkins. You know, like the little chocolate pumpkins with Reese's in the center. Or 1,000-gram bars. Those are not really Halloween candy, but it's always, of course, in the big candy bags that you get to give out at Halloween. So sometimes I get those, and then if I have some left over, I eat them. So I really try to stay away from them, but... Okay, question number 8. What is your favorite Halloween memory or tradition? That would definitely be when my nieces and nephews were younger and they wanted to go trick-or-treating. I started talking them out of it one year because I would take them a lot of times. So I asked them if they would rather go trick-or-treating or if they would rather that I took them to the store, in the movie store, and rented them each a movie, whichever movie they wanted to rent, and bought them some popcorn and candy of their choice and soda of their choice. And they always opted for the movies and the treats, so we would always go do that. And it was a lot safer for them, to me, because, you know, there's so many concerns nowadays with people poisoning or tainting candy because people are just crazy sometimes, and it was just safer to do that. And they would still get to dress up in their costumes and go to the store and stuff, and we had fun, but they got to pick out whatever they wanted instead, and they loved that. So we always had a really good time watching scary movies and having popcorn and candy and stuff on Halloween. Some of those times we would order pizza and stuff like that too, so it was a lot of fun. Question number 9, do you believe in ghosts? And the second part of that question is, if yes, have you ever seen one? Yes, I do believe in ghosts, and yes, I have seen them on numerous occasions, especially when I was younger. I haven't really seen any in a long time, but the first one I remember seeing, I was very young, maybe like 4 or 5, but I remember seeing this filmy figure in the corner of the room, and he had a tall top hat on like Abraham Lincoln wore, and that's what struck me about it. It was like an Abraham Lincoln hat. And my dog saw it too. The dog was jumping and barking at it, but my sister and my mom could not see it. I was showing them where it was, and they could not see it. So that's the first time I remember ever seeing a ghost. I haven't seen any in a long time now. Question number 10, what is the scariest thing that has ever happened to you? Wow, this is a hard one. I'm trying to think if there's anything actually really, really scary that's happened to me, because I feel that I've been very blessed to not have anything really horrible ever happen. Oh, but I know. This was super scary. So when I went in June to New Orleans, June last year actually, me and my sister and my 2 nieces, and we were trying to find a like bed and breakfast type place to stay, because we went to St. Francis or St. Francisville. We went there anyway to see the Myrtle's Plantation, but we weren't staying at Myrtle's Plantation. We started to, but we just ended up deciding we weren't going to do that. We were going to go on and find somewhere else. So we found this other little plantation. I can't even remember the name of it right now, but no one was really staying there. And it was like a plantation house and then a bunch of little cabins. So we rented one of the cabins because it had a pool outside. And we got in our cabin, and then we immediately left. We just put our stuff up and then left and went to go out to eat. So we went out to eat and everything. We came back, and it was after dark, and the swimming pool was out there, and it was part of our cabin, like it was fenced into our cabin. So we went out and got in the pool, and we were out there in the pool, and this man just walked up and went in the pool house that was attached to our house. Didn't speak to us, didn't say a word. He just went in the pool house. And it was like dark, isolated, no lights on at any of the other houses. So we were really freaked out. So we all got out of the pool and went back in the house. But the worst part is that the freaking door, the front door, would not shut, would not lock. It would not even shut all the way. Like, we all pushed and pushed and pushed on that door as hard as we could. We could not shut the door. We could not lock it. So freaky. So we basically ended up just like shoving a chair up, and some stuff up against the door so that it would at least make noise if somebody tried to come in. And then we didn't sleep good at all. Like, I finally fell asleep at some point, and then I woke up, and my nieces were laying on the bed, and they were like this, like with the covers looking around. And I was like, what's wrong? And they're like, we're scared. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So they were scared because there was an upstairs room, and they thought that man could have come up those back stairs and come in the upstairs. And so I got some knives. We got some butcher knives out of the kitchen block, and we went upstairs and looked, and nobody was there. And then they started thinking about the woman that ran the house, and they're like, she's like Norman Bates' mom. Probably that man that came in our pool house is probably her son. And we just blew it all out of proportion. But it was scary because it was just pitch black dark. And if you've ever been on like a plantation type location in New Orleans, they're like swampy, like there's like big huge trees with the moss hanging down, and they're already a little bit spooky. And then to make matters worse, there was like no one staying at this place except for apparently that one man who we don't even know who he was. He just walked up and went into the pool house that was attached to our house and then left and never said a word to us. He didn't even speak at all, so it was creepy. But so we started Googling it and we looked it up, and it turns out the lady's a nice lady. She's an author, the lady that owns the place. She's a nice lady and she's an author, and she had written a book because her husband shot her on the porch of the plantation, the big house that she lived in, and then he waited there for her to die, and she had to hold her breath and pretend to be dead until he left. And then he ended up being put in jail and he died there. He was a corrections officer actually. And so it was a very interesting story, and we found that online, and then that made them feel like better that she wasn't crazy. You know, she was just a nice lady that something bad happened to. So we got some sleep then, but it was creepy. It was creepy. I don't ever like to be somewhere isolated like that, and then especially not to be able to lock the door. That was very scary. It was like being in a horror movie for real. That's what it felt like. Okay, if you could be any Halloween creature or character, what would it be? I would definitely choose a witch. I think it would be awesome to be able to perform magic and magic spells and all that cool stuff. So totes would be a witch. Okay. 12. Have you ever played with a Ouija board and then it has 2 other parts to it? If so, what happened? And B, would you do it again? So yes, I have played with a Ouija board once when I was very young. My friend brought it over. I had always been told I was never allowed to play with a Ouija board. My friend brought it over when she spent the night, and we snuck and played with it. Well, a few weeks later, my sister kept saying she was hearing voices and there was just weird things happening, and so I ripped it up and burned it in the fireplace because my friend left it at my house. So I ripped it up and burned it in the fireplace. Would I do it again? No, I have never ever touched one again. I do not. I'm scared of them. I'm absolutely scared of them, and I don't want to ever touch one. Question number 13, if you had to pick a real life scary movie to live through, which one would it be? And I think it would be I Know What You Did Last Summer. I thought about this one for a little while, trying to figure out which movie it would be, and honestly I would rather like not live in any of them. Like no scary movies, no. But if I had to, I think I'd rather go with I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I think I might be able to find a way to survive that one. Number 14, how old were you when you saw your first scary movie, and what was it? I was probably 6 or 7, and it was Friday the 13th. And I was staying at my sister's and my brother-in-law's house, and they had a big, huge bay window in the front. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I had to walk past that window, and I could swear I saw Jason's face in it with the mask, and I was terrified. I stayed hidden in the bathroom for a while because I was scared to come back out. It really scared me. I hated that movie. After I watched that movie, I was like scared to ride over a bridge or anywhere near like a lake or anything like that. Now looking back, obviously those movies are so corny and so poorly done, but at the time when you're a little kid, they were terrifying. So I just remember thinking, you know, that it was so scary. I was terrified of it. Number 15, what is the scariest ghost story or urban legend that you ever heard as a child? And I don't know the name of this one, but I remember my older cousin, he was a boy, and he was telling me and his younger sister a ghost story about, it was the one about where there was someone who had escaped from the mental hospital. And I don't even remember, honestly, like the whole scary story now, but it was something about like a couple being out on a dirt road or something, and they had to like, their car broke down, they had to get out of the car for something, and I guess the guy got out of the car and the girl stayed in the car, and it ended up that somebody killed him and like hung him upside down on the tree above the truck or car, and his nails were scratching it, making noise. I don't remember the name of these things, but it was really scary at the time. That's all I remember. Question number 16, what is the most unique or creative Halloween costume that you've ever seen? And I guess I would pick probably in person, because online there's so many creative things that it would be almost impossible to pick, and I don't even know if they're like real or like creative with the software, but I did see one time someone at a bar, and it was a really cute creative costume that basically he made himself a one night stand. So he made a nightstand that went around his neck and shoulders, and it was like a table, you know, like a nightstand. And on that he had like some different things glued to it, like a condom and some glasses and a glass of water or whatever, and he had a lamp on it, and the lamp actually functioned and turned on. So that was pretty impressive. And I think that was a really neat creative costume as well. Alright guys, that's it for the questions on this tag. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my answers. If you would like to do this tag, please do so. I just don't want to tag so many people because it just kind of messes things up, because we all know each other and we're all going to be tagging a lot of the same people. So I don't want to tag everyone and then other people don't have anyone to tag and that kind of thing. So I'm going to limit it to about 5 people. I am going to post the names in the description box down below. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tag video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And also make sure you ring that little bell down below so that you'll be notified whenever I post future content. And also guys, if you do this tag, I would really, really appreciate it if it is linked back to me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.